Parliament return to Hillsborough, where Nelson McCausland of the DUP is outside for us. Thanks for joining us. So they've begun all-party negotiations. Does that mean that there has been some measure of progress?
Well, the talking has continued and the work is ongoing, but I think there's still an amount of work to be done. In regard to policing and justice, there are issues that we're still working on and have not yet fully resolved around matters such as decision making and so on. And it's important that we keep on at that work. We're not a party that's tied into dates or setting times for these things or schedules. We simply want to continue getting the work done, and it's ongoing.
Indeed, it's a point the DUP have made before that you're not date-led or time-bound, but perhaps the Prime Ministers are. Will you accept a date for devolving policing and justice if your other conditions are met?
Well, we've said that if the conditions are right, we believe that there should be devolution of policing and justice, but the conditions have to be right. And the arrangements have to be effective and sustainable. That's the area that we're working on at the moment.
Can they be got right today?
I'm not able to predict when we'll get to that point. I think that's something that's impossible to predict, and I think it's foolish and unhelpful. The important thing is for all of the parties to continue at this process. And one of the things that we were very keen on over the last few days has been the involvement, the engagement of all the political parties. Now, I know Sinn Féin were not keen on that, but we have been, and I'm glad to say that the other political parties, the Ulster Unionist Party, the SDLP and the Alliance are with us here at Hillsborough. We need that all-party involvement to get a proper resolution that will last.
Well, what is it, do you think, Sinn Féin or Martin McGuinness said to the Prime Ministers to make them come here yesterday? Or perhaps it was something Peter Robinson said to them. Why specifically are they here now?
Well, clearly they believe that their intervention will help to get a resolution, and their interest is important. We're dealing with issues that are left over from St Andrews. It's helpful that bring their wisdom, their insights, their help to bear on the situation. But at the end of the day, we need to have a resolution that local political parties will all buy into.
Now, you've said that you're up for doing a deal, but there are some who think the DUP just doesn't want to do a deal on policing and justice ahead of a Westminster election. What would you say to that?
We've said very clearly that the resolution of this is dependent on getting the conditions right and getting the arrangements right. Now, we'll get that done. It might be done this afternoon, might be done tonight, might be done tomorrow, or it might be next week. I can't predict when we'll get to that point because that's dependent on all of the participants. Everybody has a role to play in this. So it's impossible to predict and foolish to predict.
OK, you don't have to characterise what progress has been made, but can you describe perhaps the atmosphere under which these talks are taking place, and is it a positive one?
Well, from our viewpoint, we come at all these things in a positive, constructive way. We've been working hard today. There have been discussions, there have been considerations of documents. We've been looking at all the angles and the possible permutations. We've been looking at a range of things. And it's been a busy day in that regard, and it will continue to be so. I'm fairly certain of that.
OK, Nelson McCausland, many thanks indeed.